This is another thing. I taught history and I was an athletic director for years in Memphis. And I always would show hoop dreams because I would have athletes in the class, that they need to know that story, right? So one of my students, and this is a young lady, I told her that we were going to be interviewing with you guys, and she sent me a text message. I would like to read to you guys about the movie. Her name is Takesha Whiting. She's a hustler, single parent, but she makes clothes, sells food. The journey and the hustle that's all in her. She said the biggest thing I remember from the movie that the boys were suffering from poverty, wanted better for their family. I can relate to that because all throughout my childhood, my family and I suffered from poverty due to low income, when I played sports, which included basketball, I always wanted to pursue my athletic talents to help invest in my family, but I didn't have the proper support and encouragement to continue. So she sent me this morning, and just understand that you do have those all over the country that still, resonate with your story, still show the movie, man. And we're just happy to be on here and give you guys your flowers. You guys are big inspiration, whether you know it or not. But man, just happy to be a part of this podcast, man.
Hey, give us her name again.
Takesha Whiting.
Hey, shout out
Takesha
to you.
Whiting.
Much love. And hey, Takesha, keep getting that bag. Go get it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
It sounds like she using all her talents.
Yes.
She is. No doubt.
Like
I'm always surprised.
That's beautiful,
man,
there.
Look, she owes me a Kool-Aid pie. I don't know if y'all heard of it. It might be a Memphis thing.
Hey, that gotta be straight Memphis there.
It's a Memphis thing. It's a Kool-Aid pie.
Please break that down. Break that down for us, right? Man, please.
It's almost like, you got the graham cracker crust for like the in-store cheesecake. Not the real cheesecake, but the box cheesecake. Yeah. But you replace it with Kool-Aid and cream. I don't know how it works. All I know, it is delicious. It's delicious. Kool-Aid
Send
pie.
one over, man. Send one over, Will.
I don't know if we can ship it. It might evaporate by the time it gets to you, but I don't know.
That's on my checklist.
I don't know how it works.
I'm getting to Memphis and I want a Kool-Aid pie.
Hey, I ain't never heard of that one, but I'm going to find out.
Right.
That's real there.
Somebody know. I know somebody on the South Side know.
Hoop Dreams, the podcast, an Unlearning Network production.
On today's special episode, and that's what we calling it, special episode, for one reason right here. First of all, let me just throw this out here. This episode is for all you sneakerheads out there.
Me?
All you gym rats out there. All you playground legends still hitting the courts out there. This is the real deal today. Think about this, Agee. Let me just hit you with this, man. Since the shoe game came out, remember how we used to put a string on, you had to tie them up and put them on your shoulders?
Yeah.
That day is long and gone. No doubt about that. The game has changed and will be forever, ever changed. Let me just kick it off this way. The first in a series with Solepack, the shoe transport bag, which has been seen all over the place, from the NBA store to the outdoor courts and gyms across the country. Mm-hmm. With us today, straight out of New York, straight out of Memphis, we have with us the Solepack founder, Mike Sala. I like his name on the screen, Agee. Worldwide. You got to be a baller if you're going to go by worldwide. But we got Worldwide Will with us also today. They just coming back, man, from All-Star Weekend in Salt Lake City. Man, I'm excited about this episode. Solepack has been doing big things. They got NIL licenses out there. They're doing athletic brand partnership. This is going to be the episode again for all you sneakerheads out there. I'm Will Gates, and that's my dog,
Arthur Agee. Welcome to the show, fellas.
Appreciate you guys.
Thanks for having us. Big Memphis energy.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it.
Let's go. I love that introduction, guys, man. That's you guys give me some goosebumps, man, because that's all realness right there.
Come on, man. If we know anything, we know the respect when we see it. We got to give it.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that, man.
Y'all stories are so incredible, man, because, when I knew you guys was coming on the show, I went back, man, I'm watching all this YouTube footage on y'all, man. And just the foundation of how you got it started. I was just like, you know what, man? That's playground love there, man. That's just a pure love for the game. And then you said something I thought was just so unique in one of your interviews. You said, man, how the team came together was so organic. I was like, okay. Everybody got a love for this here. So I'm appreciating it. But listen, before we get into Solepack and everything that it's about, man, Agee, now we just got to ask you guys, man. And we ask everybody's been on the show. Have you seen the movie Hoop Dreams?
Man, I can't tell you guys, man. For me, again, a hooper, trying to make it, hoop dreaming about getting into the league. Hoop Dreams came out when I was going to NYU. And, I had my dream. Of course, I didn't know I knew at that point I wasn't going to the league, but Hoop Dreams came out. The first drop was at this place called the Film Forum over in the West Side Highway by West Side of New York downtown. I grabbed me and a few of my homies. We went to go see that opening night. We were out there watching Hoop Dreams at the Film Forum. I saw it first weekend, second weekend, third weekend, and I brought my family that movie, man. So, respect to what you guys, it just meant so much to me as just seeing realness of what hoopers, dreams, what it all takes to make it in this basketball world, man. So I appreciate you guys, man, 100%.
Of course, I saw Hoop Dreams. Now, matter of fact, that's when I first met you guys, when you had the reunion in Memphis, the screening in Memphis. I made sure, because I was living that.
Yep.
I was a hooper. I came out in '94, and your journey was my journey, And really, I wanted to give both of you buckets. I'm like, yeah, I can get that. I want to go with those cats.
Listen here, fellas, man. We know we call this, the Hoop Dreams podcast, but the reality is, man, this is y'all podcast. So Mike, I want to start with you, man.
Yes, sir.
Take us back to the beginning when you was at that moment that Solepack was like birthed in your heart, in your mind. What was the inspiration and what was you doing at that point in your life?
Hey, no doubt, man. Again, Mike Sala, the founder of Solepack here. Thanks again for having us. Man, to take it back, we're talking about 20 plus years here, right? So again, those early days of me traveling from Staten Island and always going to NYU, to the city. So it's always about a commute, right? It's about taking a train, taking a ferry, taking a bus, and again, gym rat, right? Playing ball every day. And of course you got books and trying to, stay in school and pass my classes. So I couldn't stay in the gym forever.
Right.
But so I always had a plastic bag, right? Carrying my extra pair of sneakers with me. Constantly, I tell that same story, man. Having a plastic bag in my fingers, twirling around, my fingers are turning purple, getting caught in the subway door behind me. So I'm like, there's got to be a better way to, transport, my sneakers. So this is around like late 90s. So I just started cutting up bags and, I went up and down Broadway in New York City, down 8th Street, just all these places of culture where, you see all the streetwear things popping, you see these sneaker shops everywhere.
Yeah.
So all these things are, leaving an impression on me, right? From hip hop, street ball, West 4th, right down the block from NYU. So all these things started, playing on me. I was like, there's got to be a better way to carry my sneakers. So again, I'm a physical therapist by trade. I'm not no, fashion guy. I'm not no engineer. I just started, there's a will, there's a way. I just started cutting up bags off of backpacks, and I just started piecing things together, man. Like you said, part of me, I knew there was something I wanted to contribute to this world, and physical therapy did it on a small scale, but part of me knew there was a bigger calling. And so little by little, we started seaming, bags together. Not little by little. It took me like 5-6 years getting a working patent, all that stuff. So I got a patent. Pretty much that original product pretty much looks like what it is today.
Wow.
A bag for your left shoe. We did this for your All-Star game with our NBALAB fan. We did a Utah Jazz colorway that we dropped the last weekend. Mm-hmm. So you put your left shoe, right shoe, and it wraps around any backpack, like Will says right there. So you store your sneakers on the side, man. So no more hustling with your plastic bag.
Wow.
No more, you got desert.
Side,
yeah, there you go, Will. Yeah,
Wow.
man. So when you don't need your sneakers, you travel, you get into your city, you just rock with a straight up backpack like that, man. So, that's the long story short kind of story. And since then, just reaching out to organic communities that helped us, inspire that story from, like we said, sneakerheads, ballers, people in the hip hop industry, entertainment, anybody.
Mike, how you just showed that is your backpack too, or it can be attached to any backpack?
Originally, we kind of reversed engineered the process. We started with this because this is going to make, give us that biggest point of differentiation to enter the market. No one else had this.
Right.
Then little by little, people are like, you just make your own backpack. I'm like, all right. We went back to the drawing board. And this is actually our third product. We came up with a whole backpack. And it also has like a ball thing at the bottom. Shout outs to our Venice Hall.
Kill it.
Venice Ball folks, family.
Kill.
But then, our second product is actually this product right here. And more love for our Venice Ball fans. People that summer, I went to a lot of sneaker conventions, right? They're like, I don't use backpacks during the summer. I only use string bags. I was like, all right, man. I knew what like the whole Gaucho's backpack was here in New York City, with that backpack meant, with the string bag meant for those people. So I just started cutting up string bags. Same thing, got our LG ones in here. Shout out to Langston. And we have same thing, clean pockets on the inside. You put all your clean gear and you keep all your separate sneakers on the outside, man.
Wow.
Same thing. Just showing love to whoever you work with, man, from, ballers to any organization, man. But that's the hustle, man. Just keeping our signature, standing out, finding a gray area where we can contribute to our culture, society, and everything, and just, doing what we do best, and not just ignoring all that noise in the back if anyone has anything to say. Just doing our thing.
It's gonna be somebody tell you no, and no, ain't nobody gonna buy that, man. And what is that, and try to kill the dream. It's just amazing to me to see that you was like nah, like it gotta be the better way. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, you cutting up, you going to get fabric, and people don't understand this a concept in your head, but you see the true end vision of it. And for you to keep it that way, and look where you at now, man. Y'all just come back from the All-Star game, man.
Oh my God. Tell me about it, man.
Bro, that's a hoop
All-Star
dream,
game was
man.
that was a holiday for me as a kid, and just to get there, man. Thank you to our NBA Connect and NBA family for getting us there, man.
Mike, I want to ask you this too, though, man. Where did the name come from? Like, was that always the original intent?
Yeah, man. Again, this is 20 years back, right? Me and the original founders, shout out to Chris and Jules and my wife Lynn at the time. We're all sitting around the table like, yo, man, we need, what name could we give, right? Do you want to stick with some crazy, name that no one knows of? Like, where was the NYU gym? Mercer Street. I was like, oh, should I call Mercer? People were like, nah, no one's gonna, relate to that really. But I thought, there was also a Nike store, Mercer Street at that time. So I'm like, all right. So I was talking to my friend Chris, and I was like, yeah, I want it to be something, functional. Well, I wanted to have the word pack in it, because that's what we're doing, and we're packing soles, right? The, soles of your shoes. And he's like, why don't we just call it Solepack? I was like, yo, bet. I remember exactly where I was, down the block from where I live right now. And he said, yeah, let's call it Solepack from that day on, man. So here we are, 20 years later.
So how worldwide will it come up into the picture, baby?
Oh, man. I'll give a little interlude, Will, if you don't mind.
Yeah, please.
Like you said, Will, Mr. Gates, you said it was organic from that video you watched. I kind of put our energy out there, and whoever came back and saw the vision, shout out to Rudy and Gigi, who are not here, but Will is that other third cog in the wheel. He was the one that came on several years ago, hit me up, and I'll let Will take the story from there. Will handles our NIL and sports athletic management.
Yeah, so thank you for the intro. So basically, at the time I was co-running a prep school, a post-grad prep school called Faith Prep Academy when I stopped teaching in Memphis. Co-ran it with Daniel Vandy. Shout out to my guy. Just won a state championship tonight. So we were always looking for something different. And gear-wise, Solepack, it was amazing. We had just got a brand deal with And1 out of NYC. I hit Mike, saw the gear. We ordered some gear, and we just kind of developed a friendship, a kinship over the years. So when the NIL hit back in 2021, I was already teaching basically a branding curriculum to the young people on how to get recruited, how to clean up your social media, what to say, what not to say, how to respond quickly.
Yeah.
There's so many different intricacies when it comes to recruiting. So at that point, when we started talking about it, and we always want to make history. Solepack is always on the cutting edge, doing things that no one has done. So we talked about it. We said we should launch a campaign, but we want to do it different. We want to disrupt the NIL industry because it's not just about the bag. People think it's just about the bag. How much money can I get?
Right.
Man, this opportunity is for all college athletes. D1, D2, NAIA, JUCO, National Christian Association of Athletics. That's even another league, right? So we wanted to make sure that people knew that it's about the opportunity, not just the money. Because for every high-ranked cat you might have or young lady that you might have, there's hundreds of other hoopers who got their own stories bubbling under the radar, but they doing their thing, right? So we came up with a concept called the Bucket Society. And of course, I'm always with the brand. Hold on, boom.
The Bucket Society.
Bucket Society, okay. Right? So the Bucket Society basically is a society where you don't have to wait for a cosign. You don't have to wait for the newspaper to say you're next or whatever outlet to say you're next. You believe in yourself. And once you believe in yourself, that's all you need. And there's so many other young people around the country who need to know they're not alone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because they didn't mention your name in the paper, it doesn't mean that you're not next. You're not that guy. You're not that girl.
Yep.
And what I found out was a lot of times, you know how politics is, right? I thought that you just earned it. You got busy, you did your thing, and people recognized you. When I became a high school coach, the newspaper say, Will, who the 2 top players on your team? We're going to put them on the list. I made that decision.
Wow.
Right? You know what I mean? And I'm just glad I was raised right. I'm originally from Mississippi,
right.
so we raised right.
You can see
right?
you know basketball.
From Jackson, Mississippi. Yeah, and I hooped in college as well. So I was just like, yeah, okay, I'm going to be fair. But what about all these other coaches who might be unfair? I'm not rocking with dude this week. I'm going to go with him. And next thing you know, they ride their hype train, they ride their wave, and it makes everything easier if they're recruited. You know how it goes. Yeah. If I come in highly ranked, I'm instantly, okay, I got the benefit of the doubt. I don't have to beat anybody out. You know, those types of things. So with the NIL, we want to be different. We want to be a partnership. We want to also let them understand that this opportunity means that you understand your brand. You recognize who you are first. So when you recognize who you are, you can recognize who you want to align with. Yeah. Because our money not good money. Our partnerships not good partnerships. Right. But you got to understand who you are. Then you got to understand, like Jay says, that you're a businessman or businesswoman. You know what I mean? Yeah. That you are a business. So we want to come from that angle and really disrupt, the whole NIL. It's about the money. And give them an opportunity to be entrepreneurs as well, have their own line of bags, and then get to tell their story, right? Because everybody got their own story.
Wow. That's pretty dope.
That's how we came together. And look, the first signing we had was the first JUCO athlete to be signed. That same day, Dominic Brown, he's actually in Loyola, New Orleans right now. Will, you're gonna love this. And everything's unique. Like we got 4 athletes that's coming on your show, and we're thankful for that. They have their own unique stories. Like I said, Dominic was the first JUCO player signed, and Will, he has his own brand. And his first signee, or one of his first signees, was Cam Jones, that plays where? Marquette.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
All right. Then we have Maya Taylor. Maya Taylor is the most decorated women's basketball player in the state of Mississippi. Back-to-back Gatorade Player of the Year. Just transferred from Mississippi State to Ole Miss. ESPN recognized her as number 12 on the NIL impact list, and we're happy to be a part of her journey.
What's her name again?
Maya Taylor. She's starring PG Ole Miss. They 20-7, just took South Carolina
to overtime.
Yeah,
I just saw that game.
Yeah. So she's a Solepack signee. Of course, Larry Hughes, the second, is doing his thing at SLU. He's the son of Larry Hughes, high-flying Larry Hughes, St. Louis legend. And he has his own brand, Smooth Work. Shout out to LB and Larry. They're doing their thing in St. Louis. Smooth Works has his own brand. So everybody we're dealing with, they kind of get it. They understand, because you could get the money today and then not be hot tomorrow, and then everything is gone. Right. What did you gain during that partnership, right? And last but not least, we got this cat, man. This cat, amazing. Larry Marino, a.k.a. Light Cheese. Right out of Light Cheese in New York. Light Cheese. Look, the man, listen. This is crazy.
Look him up.
Look him up, of course.
Oh my God.
If you watched our Whistle Sports feature, he was the one that jumped over everybody and threw the ball backwards. He's a trick shot artist, but dude gets buckets. He plays for St. Francis, Brooklyn. You know what I mean? He's a Division I athlete. He just did some stuff with I think Gatorade for the Super Bowl. So we have, everybody has a story. We got some HBCU cats. And before, let me mention this. I got my guy Corey Smith at Prairie View. We got a JUCO kid, Jordan Mitchell, in Florida. But LaMonica Plater is a Grambling athlete, Grambling State University. And I'm so proud of her. Of course, just met her this year. And the thing about her, she doesn't play any minutes. LaMonica played at Grambling State University. She doesn't play, but she's the first one off the bench cheering. She's the first one to support her teammates with a smile. She's always giving that great energy. Do you know how valuable that is? And almost unheard of? Yeah. Absolutely. Unheard of. She doesn't even touch the floor for real. But she got game, and just situations where, she's not necessarily in the rotation. But, we want to sign her to show the difference between what we're doing and what other people are doing. It's not about the bag. It's about the opportunity and the attitude, being a good person, and understand being a teammate is invaluable. Being a great teammate is so invaluable. So that's how we're doing, man. We're disrupting this NIL game.
I tell you, man, what I love, everything I heard, man, you hear the character in the brand, and you don't hear that a lot. You hear the passion in the brand, but I think more important than all of those, you add in there, y'all actually out here trying to make people succeed in life. Like, you don't even hear that. You're like, listen, I need you to be a good person. It's really about empowering them. We want them empowered. Yes.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Yeah.
Athletes, artists, man, we do artist series, man, just giving voices to folks that really didn't have one, or just amplifying their voices, man. That's what we're here for.
So the NIL athletes that you guys have signed to Solepack, do they have their own design or a color of the school that they own they soul packs?
Yeah, so it's been a long time coming. I'm gonna be real clear about it. We vetted them. We've been going back and forth, and we had some soft launches, but we're really actually about to launch next week. And part of their package deal, because we have a package deal, a partnership, and it's an entrepreneurship type of vibe as well, where they do get their own line. Not only are they pushing the Solepack proprietary lines and the NBALAB partnership that we have, but they do have their own. They will have their own logos or their own theme, because the bag, is fully customizable, as you see. With this graffiti back here, you see that's actually a hooper going up. Yeah. Right, but it looks like camouflage, right?
Yeah.
So whatever message they want to send, whatever city they represent, or whatever.
Now that got Memphis on there. Now tell me, somebody that see, because me and Will be on this business entrepreneur stuff. Tell me, I can walk in. Me and Will can fly to Memphis, walk into the Memphis arena, and walk into the gift shop and buy that.
Hey, you heard that? You heard that, NBA, man? You heard
that? It's on the way. I will say this. I hope I'm not overstepping, but we're in the NBA store in New York.
Okay.
Fifth
But
Avenue,
each team has different companies that might run their team stores.
Right.
Gotcha.
So
we're working on it.
But it's on the way.
Okay.
Agee is on the way, brother.
Okay.
So,
but you guys are licensed with all NBA teams, though, right?
Yeah, we have about maybe 16 teams that we work for, we do right now. So it's all dependent on what markets we think we could have a presence in. And just, again, thanks to our partners at the NBALAB. And one guy I forgot to mention earlier too, Samir Wally. He's our guy that manages a lot of our brand partnerships on retail levels, lifestyle, and cultural events too, man. So shout out to Samir. He's been down since day one.
That's what's up.
Yes, sir.
LA. But it's
coming. It's coming.
Trust me, it's coming.
Man,
we got our eyes on a couple of Grizzlies too, because we got this new Pro Pack campaign, which we're really excited about. And now we talk about the pro journey. Not necessarily just NBA, but overseas, Mexico, G League. You know, our first signee, we're very proud to have Taurean Prince of the Minnesota Timberwolves. We're about to do this activation next month in Minnesota. So we're very happy about that because they have their own journeys too. You know, we talked about it earlier that, you know, sometimes when you want to be the guy, I'm thinking about being an NBA guy, you think about being the man. You don't think about carving a niche where nobody is doing it. Like, say, for instance, I don't know who wants to be a Draymond, right? Who wants to, but they don't understand. A Draymond will hang around the league for 15, 16, 17 years and then parlay his way into the booth because that he understands how to get in where he fit in, how to get, take roles that maybe no one wants, but be the glue guy or be the facilitator, the high IQ guy, like a Thaddeus Young, who is just an amazing guy and got his niche, and he's been in the league for a long time. We're talking about 15 years. So we want to tell those stories as well. And we're happy to have Taurean on board, man. So we're going to do some great things with him. Shout out to Taurean. Shout out to CAA and the team over there. So, man, we got some hot stuff coming as well, some different stories.
I love it, man. I want to switch it up a little bit because I believe every great story has its moments of uncertainty. And both of y'all can speak to this, man. With those doubts, if there were doubts, those moments along the journey, what was in you that said, in spite of, we're going to make this happen?
Man, I can speak to that first, if you don't mind, Will. It's just...
No, of course.
Part of you, like I mentioned earlier, it's you have a commitment, right? You have a commitment to a greater picture. And for me, there was nothing for me to stop me from accomplishing, even to this day, accomplishing something that I envision that will, like the Solepack, to be in every store, to be on every kit, just to be a household name. So having envisioning that from the very beginning and staying committed to that, you could have anything that happens to me, like, the series of bags that happened to me several times, all the wrong buckles put on them, all them strings put on backwards. It's like, they're little hiccups. It feels like you're having the worst day of your life at the time. But again, perspective is one of, patience and perspective is one of, my tributes that, people always say I have, and just being committed to that dream. And you're able to weather all these small storms and just, you sit in the pocket and ride out that storm and keep working every day till little steps amount to landing at the All-Star game last week, man. So shout out to everybody putting us on their back to get there.
Yeah, for sure. Man, for me, it's really my mother, man. This is what I would say. In 2012, I stopped teaching. I was teaching for 12 years, athletic director, coach. And the entrepreneurship journey is not for the faint of heart. It's sexy, it sounds good, but it's not for the faint of heart. And if you don't budget your money right, you can have a drought. You might have a surplus at some point. 6 months later, it's like, oh my Lord. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And so it's not for the faint of heart, man. But listen, I grew up, man, single parent home, me and my little brother, man. So my mother was a nurse, or she still is a nurse, and she worked night and day. She barely had time to, see us sometimes. She would work from 7 to 3, and from 3 to 5, she might sleep, or 3 to 7, she might sleep, but she would usually go to evening church, then go to a 7 to 11 shift as a nurse overnight for 35, 40 years. You know what I'm saying? And she didn't complain. We didn't have everything, but it felt like we had everything. I'm from Jackson, Mississippi, grew up west side of Jackson, man, Queens area as well. And I never felt like didn't have. But when she gave her all, we would be in low income housing and she would have other people come move in with us because they got evicted. We could come home sometimes and see people on stuff on the corner, bro. On the corner. I'm sorry. I got all. I'm sorry about the bro. I'm all into it right now. But you could see stuff. It could be times where we scared that our stuff would be on the corner. But she persevered. Jeannie Brown, I love you. She's the reason why me and my brother go so hard. My brother is the head basketball coach at Oklahoma Christian University for the women's. Every time he wins a ring, he sends us a ring, and I choose to wear mine. He has our names inscribed in them, and every time he wins something, he sends it to us, and I wear it, not in the box. It's just to remind me of the grind and what I saw. Because, as fathers, we teach kids what to do, but they're going to do what they see us do more than anything, right? And what I saw my mother do was grind and go to church. Grind, go to church. Grind and go to church. And then give everybody the shirt off her back. So I really give everything, to God and to my mother, who basically was the reflection of God on a daily basis. You know what I mean? So shout out to her to keep me going.
Yes, sir. Shout out to
Jeannie Brown.
Jeannie Brown.
Shout out.
The
real MVP.
Yeah.
Let's get her on the show. Where's she at? We'll get her on the show.
She's the real MVP. She's in Oklahoma right now with my brother, man. Shout out to them.
I'm glad you brought that up, man, because I think for all of us, man, people don't recognize the strength our mothers had to carry to, walk us through the seasons in life, man, where, we look left, we look right, we look in front of us, we look behind us, and it just the look didn't look good, no direction you looked, but somehow our moms, man, they still kept seeing a side in us, that potential in us, strength in us, that every moment they was right there to push you through it, despite going through everything they dealing with.
Right.
It's you hear people say this a lot, man. Mm-hmm. I didn't even know we was poor. Yeah. But I tell folks, no, we knew we were poor. We just my mom was just real with it. She was like, hey, we can't do this. Sorry.
Right.
But let me tell you what we can do. So,
so
shout out to your mom, man.
Yeah,
big talk there, man.
Ms. Brown.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Mike, I want to throw this at you, man.
Yes, sir.
We got to do this, man. We got to talk about this relationship with the league, NBALAB. How did that come about?
Pretty much, I think, you earn your credibility, right, by being in the game for so long and never, they know you're not an overnight sensation kind of thing since you've been out there hustling and connecting organically. Again, I attribute a lot of our success to all our communities, right? If it wasn't for that little Hooper kid posting that picture, it wasn't for, that AU program down in North Carolina that's putting us on their backs and spreading the word. It's all about, getting that energy and having that come back to us and expressed, through our product. And I think the NBALAB, they saw that. They said, man, you guys have a great relationship with your culture, right? From sneakerheads to basketball. So they're like, all right, you could work via our license, and we could, we started with those, 12 NBA teams to start. And the same thing with the NBA, one of these ladies in the NBA has been watching what we were doing for several years, shout out to her. And she's like, oh, Mike, man, I'm finally in a position, that could help you guys out and, order some bags internally and, make us kind of have bags to supply internal to a lot of the NBA offices and whatnot. So we were brought in on that level, and, shout out to them just for seeing our dream and, taking us to the next level. Because I was just talking about Will, right? We do A, B, and C, correct? But sometimes I heard this in another podcast recently. You need that person or entity to come in that says, oh man, you guys do A, B, and C. We got you for D, E, F, and let's take this to the next level and just everybody build together, man, where we all empower one another versus, people just, doing things on their own. So shout out to you guys too, man. This is part of all that journey, man. So we all in it together.
Hey, man. Hey, how many total athletes you guys have?
So we have 10 athletes, basketball players, but we're about to break into something unprecedented as well, because all athletics use shoes, right? And you know how we are. You know how kicks are special as hoopers, as football players, whether you have it spatted, whether you have a quote or a Bible verse on it, right? So we figured that everybody needs this. So we have a football campaign that's going to be launching right after March Madness, and also a multi-sport campaign that we have soccer, golf, lacrosse. You know, we're trying to make this thing where it's normal to see Solepacks on the backs of every athlete, regardless of what sport you play.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And then we're going to tell those stories. You know, we're going to tell those stories. We have each athlete is going to get like a mini documentary where they get to kind of tell what they're going through and how hard it is, or how much fun they're having or not, because everybody knows that it's an up and down situation when you're on a college campus. That's why you have to be careful about where you go. It's not just about the level. You know, you might go to a low major D1, but not travel well, not eat well, but you might go to a D2, but you eating steak and you're staying at the Hyatt. You know what I mean? It's a difference. Yeah. But a lot of people don't know it because they haven't been through it. You know, we're grateful that we've been through it, the ups and the downs, the different levels, that we can be able to educate properly.
Yeah. That's beautiful, man. That's what's
I guess
up.
the other question would be too is, man, because your industry, it's so amazing, but man, but you're in the industry that there's a lot of people in.
That's right.
What has been like? What would you say to people? Because, you know, everybody wants to, you know, have like a t-shirt business or, you know, jersey business or backpacks, you know. What do you say to those young entrepreneurs, man, that, you know, going down that path and ready to, you know, throw in the towel?
And for me, it's right, like I mentioned, you have to find that gray area where no one else is, right? And there was no sneaker bag at the time. So you have to stand out essentially in the crowd. So, you know, find that gray area that no one's working in, right? There's plenty of new trends coming up, you know, plenty technology's taking up. There's plenty of little holes to find. It's like, for me as a basketball player, right? Back in the day, a lot of guys on my team were either, you know, dunking, you know, taking 3-point shots. So for me, it's like, where do I fit in? I was the mid-range assassin, what people called me back in the day. So I was mid-range, even to this day, right? You need a lot of mid-range guys. So it's like, find, like Will said, find and fit in where you can, man, and make as much noise and impact where you can in that missing void that's in the universe, pretty much. That's my advice.
For me, not looking to the right, not looking to the left, but stay focused on what you think God put on your heart to put out into the marketplace. You see so many different T-shirt companies that all of a sudden this T-shirt company took off. There's a million T-shirt companies. What was it about them? I believe them being just faithful and believing that God gave me this, I'm gonna rock with this. And so it's just like when going to look, I wasn't, to me, and it's just, you know, personal. This past weekend, I wasn't in a position, based on everything I got going, to really go to Salt Lake. So I went anyway on faith. I went on faith. And here's the crazy thing, man. We were there for like what, an hour. Next thing you know, we get a text message. What's your full name? And what's your full name? And from Samir, and I joked with him. I was like, yo, you trying to run my credit? Like, why you need to know my full name? You know what I'm saying? Right. You know what I'm saying? Chill. So, but man, we were invited to the private Adidas party. You know, that we wouldn't have been. Man, look, then we walk up and the line, like, we RSVP, you know, gave them the information, and the line was long. And we walked up, and the security like, yo, slide to the left. I said, no, we RSVP, you know, we VIP. Like, you know, he was like, yeah, all those people are as well. Yeah, and I'm like, okay. All those people are. But Samir and Mike walked up, and I'm walking behind them. Somebody came out that Samir knew, and they waved us by. And I'm looking like, look at this favor. Look at God. Absolutely. You know what I mean? We walk up the deal. We look around, man. Minutes later, man, Dame Lillard over here to the left, Candace Parker over here. Baron Davis walking through, man, met so many different people. But if I wouldn't have stepped out on faith, you know, and just just took the chance, it wouldn't have happened. The next night, we at the Puma Balmain party. You know what I mean? The NBA invited us to the crossover. They walked us through with the lanyards, and we met NBA people. It was just so amazing, but it was just having the faith to say, you know what? I believe that there's something great going to happen because of this. So I encourage all young people, regardless, if it's placed in your heart, it's very likely that it was on purpose. So go for it. It doesn't matter if somebody has something the same or similar. You got to believe, like we believe, that Solepack is unique. You know what I mean? We got our own lane, and much success to every other bag, shoe, or whoever company. Much success to y'all, but y'all can't get what God got for us. Right?
That's right.
You can't have it. Right. So we own it.
The one thing that somebody will always try to say to just kind of knock your dream, or to be like, they'll try to put you in a box like you. Oh, what makes your Solepack backpack better than anybody else's? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then what you mean? Because it's God gave it to me. It's mine. It's called Solepack.
I always tell people,
you know what I'm saying?
People, it gotta
like,
be
what are you talking about?
Asking me about it. So
that's right. Hey, I like that.
If it wasn't nothing, you wouldn't even be asking me.
You be walking right by and not saying nothing.
Because let me tell you, man, it's a lot of kids out here right now. I mean, I get messages all the time, bro. I mean, I done help people with them, to go get how they get their embroidery done. They asking me, and I mean, I got my own stuff, but I'm just like, I give this information away. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing to hold back and to covet or nothing like that. A kid want to know something. Hey, I know where you can get that dead cheap at. You know what I'm saying? Where you get your Letterman jackets dead at. I give them all that information. But some of these kids, they going to have some people that tell them that they can't. Oh, you need to stop. Ain't nobody, you only selling to family and friends. I mean, all that, bro. Like kids talk to me and send me messages like that, man, because they start their own brand. So I hope they really understand what you guys are, like you said, stepped out on faith and went out there to Utah and made them extra connections because God had you.
You got to be unemotional. I know it might sound crazy to anybody listening, but you have to be unemotional about it because your emotions lie to you. If things like, say, like Agee said, like if somebody did, say something like that, try to discourage you. It could be family. It could be somebody like, because I'm not going to lie. My mom's still on me like, hey, if this doesn't work out, go get a job. Those types of things. You know what I mean? But you have to take it with a grain of salt and not let it affect your daily grind. We call it deposits, like daily deposits. You got to make dream deposits every day, and you can't be emotional and get your feelings hurt. And then, oh man, it ain't gonna work out, so I'm gonna go lay down, and I'm gonna get discouraged because that could last for a long time. You have to say, regardless, even when you get success, don't get too high. Just like in the game, don't get too high, don't get too low. Kind of stay even. Get that Derrick Rose face. You know what I mean? Yeah, I just bust y'all I just gave y'all 40, but I'm not happy about it. I'm not sad about it. Great. Next game, I got more work to do. So when you're on your journey, you just can't get too, like Mike was saying earlier, bags might come wrong. Okay. We're not going to get too upset. Even when something happens, like we got this phone call from Shaq. Okay. It's good. You know what I mean? But if it's not on paper, it doesn't exist yet, right? So you have to be unemotional and just grind.
What I tell folks, Will, I'm like, you can't tempt me with what I ain't got. Like, why? I can't be moved by what may or may not work. I mean, I'm like, show me.
Right.
Put it out there. Especially if it's something that, I know if God has given me a plan, I'm not going to steer away from that, And I do the same thing like Agee, man. Folks call, hey, I'm gonna help you. I don't care because I believe there's enough for everybody to benefit from this and be impacted by this, man. So I appreciate, man, what you guys doing. I mean, I don't even know if y'all know the name is prophetic, but Solepack, Doc, that goes straight to the heart, man.
From the
that's
soul,
like,
man. Everything soul to soul. Man, we got a lot of soul, man.
Yeah, man. That's basketball. That's your rhythm. Like y'all covering all areas: sports, music,
no doubt.
Entertainment, culture.
100%.
It's all built in, man. And I know we didn't have a whole lot of time with you guys today, but my man got one more question for the both of you guys. And Agee, hit him with it.
Hey, Man, thank you guys, man. I really appreciate the knowledge y'all brought today, the energy y'all brought today. Just y'all sharing y'all hoop dream, man, with us and with our audience, man, because a lot of kids need that. But my last question to both of you guys, what's the next chapter in Mike's hoop dream and Triple Dub hoop dream?
Hey, man, for me, it's continuing to do what we've been doing, man. It's one step at a time. We've planted a lot of seeds. That's what it's all about, planting a lot of seeds, keep watering them and see where everything sprouts, man. So we have so many things as far as continuing our work in the, grassroots, travel basketball, high school sports teams. We got retail plays. We got, we're trying to get, try to have a presence in the retail stores a little bit more and do a lot more lifestyle plays with limited edition releases with stores and just people in that lifestyle segment as well. But yeah, we got a lot cooking, man, just one step at a time.
Yeah, man, for me, number one, just like Mike said, we want everybody to have a Solepack on their backs, regardless of what sport they play, and have their stories told. And also, I call myself, it's a funny story. We don't have time for the Worldwide Willard story, but I call myself the NIL guru. And I believe that the way that we're doing this is different.
Okay.
And we're looking forward to basically cornering that market the right way and showing other people how to do NIL programs and also, man, how to motivate and inspire these kids, these college athletes. So we really, really want to make sure they understand how far sports can take them. Because, we talk about it. We have a feature every Tuesday is the baller of the week, and you can be a baller regardless of what you're doing. But a lot of times sports takes us and helps us do things that we didn't think about. I wouldn't be doing this without basketball. Mike wouldn't be doing this without basketball. You guys wouldn't be doing this without basketball. You know what I'm saying? But kids need to understand, especially like in Memphis, where everything is D1, 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 D1. So if you don't make it to the University of Memphis, you think you're a failure. And if you think you're a failure, kids might, unfortunately, all right, well, I'm going to go to the streets, start scamming and hustling, because I got to get it. I got things I want. I didn't make it that way. Or even on the worst side, man, I'm about to go work on a factory for 12 hours a day. And next thing you know, you 40, 50 years old, and you just let your dreams kind of go to the wayside. So we basically are using this NIL platform to teach them, look, this goes way past your short time on the court, on the field. You know what I mean? So that's next for us, making sure that college athletes understand their real opportunity.
Here's what's crazy, man. I forgot to ask this question, but I'm going to throw it in there because I know Matt will be able to fit it in somewhere. Hey, man, who's holding down Memphis more, Penny or Ja?
Ooh, go ahead, bro.
I'm going to be real.
Stop the segment. I'm going to be real.
I'm going to be real. And it's because you asked me. Ooh. And I think this is real. I think Ja is the new prince of Memphis. Ja is the new prince of Memphis because he has an opportunity to be that guy not only in the city but in the league, the face of the league. Hopefully he does it right. If they need to holler at me, I'm here. I'm right downtown. The forum right down the street. Right? But Penny the king. Penny is the absolute king of Memphis basketball. You know what I mean?
I'm the goat of my era. I've been a trending topic. I'm as fly as a feather. My pocket's macroscopic. See, with time I get better. I'm always in the action, kid. Know I got it locked from Chicago where the toughest live. Concrete jungle, earn my stripes on the pavement there. You make it here, then you can make it anywhere. No comparison. Your game is embarrassing. No one can touch me. I'm all for going there again. Yeah, I think I'm ballin' like I'm Will Gates. I'm hoop dreaming, trying to fight against a sealed fate. More faith, think I'm ballin' like I'm Agee. I'm box office and one day they gon' have to pay me. Yeah, I think I'm ballin' like I'm Will Gates. I'm hoop dreaming, trying to fight against a sealed fate. More faith, think I'm ballin' like I'm Agee. I'm box office and one day they gon' have to pay me.
Hoop Dreams, the podcast, an Unlearning Network production. Written and produced by Arthur Agee, Will Gates, Matt Hoffer, with audio engineering from Matt Savage. For more episodes, check us out at www.unlearningnetwork.com.
Gotta be a dog to survive in this cold weather. Ice in my veins, no need for a warm sweater. I'm coming for it all, best believe I won't let up, yeah. Hey, I think I'm ballin' like I'm Will Gates. I'm hoop dreaming, trying to fight against a sealed fate. More faith, think I'm ballin' like I'm Agee. I'm box office and one day they gon' have to pay me. Yeah, I think I'm ballin' like I'm Will Gates. I'm hoop dreaming, trying to fight against a sealed fate. More faith, think I'm ballin' like I'm Agee. I'm box office and one day they gon' have to pay me.